Hey, this is Jude. Just got back from the doctor's office, the surgeon's office, and he did speak to the oncologist, and they both agreed that removal of the breast, my breast, for cancer reasons is probably one of the best decisions that could be made. Like I said, my husband and I had talked about it last night, and we agreed that if it was free floating through my blood, that we would go ahead and do a bilateral mastectomy, taking both my breasts. And Dr. Anderson agreed. And so I'm going to go back at 1 o'clock and probably do check-in sometime tonight for surgery first thing in the morning. And I guess that's where we'll go from there. I called my daughter-in-law and asked her if she would come over Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday and help me get situated with not being able to lift my arms very well and probably very sore and tired. And they're also going to put my port in for chemotherapy, and then the radiation that they'll do afterwards instead of doing the breast is they'll do my lymph nodes under my arms. So anyway, that's where that is. It did my heart a world of good to talk to my husband about it. And the surgery is $10,000. You know, this is where it gets really funny because, you know, Obamacare really screwed up our insurance availability in a lot of areas. In my hometown, you know, Little Casper, Wyoming, we don't have a lot of choices. We don't have, you know, 4 or 5 insurance companies. We have one now, and that's Blue Cross and Blue Shield, and it's basically Obamacare. And my deductible is $6,500. So either way, I have to come up with $6,500. Well, I paid the surgeon $500 for the lumpectomy, so that made it $6,000. I paid some other smaller tests like MRI and all of that. I gave them, you know, $200 here and $250 there. According to my gal over at the surgeon's office, it should be around $4,200 right now that I need to meet to get my insurance to pick up 100% of this next go around, which will be chemo and all of that. So we're getting there. I mean, at least once the deductible's paid, we can continue and do my chemotherapy and that kind of stuff without, you know, bankrupting us. And I don't know how the medications are going to work. I'm hoping that they're all covered under the insurance. 2 of them, one is a derivative of actually mustard gas. Herceptin or something, and that one I guess is pretty hard on your heart. And got a copy of my blood work this morning from Rocky Mountain Oncology, and my liver enzymes were down. They were way down. Thank God I quit drinking when I did. They were 4 points above normal, and I think with time my liver will get a little better, or it'll get a little worse because of the chemotherapy. But either way, it's not up into 300s anymore like it was when I was basically drinking myself to death because I knew something was wrong, but I didn't want to face the music, and I kept trying to put it off. And yeah, I'm still smoking, but you know, you got to do something. I can't chew gum. I've got sore teeth right now. I was going to go to the dentist, and the doctor said, no, since you're going to go ahead and do this surgery right away, you don't want any more, you know, poison floating around your body than you already got. So go ahead and wait on the dentist until after you've healed up from your mastectomy, and then you can go get some teeth pulled and maybe get a plate put in those places where you feel better. But, you know, I don't really feel bad about losing the breasts. Mine weren't that big. You know, the worst part of my day was trying to find a shirt where my nipples didn't show through and have men staring at me or, you know, feeling self-conscious about it. So I don't think I'll have to worry about that anymore. And I took a couple pictures of my boobs beforehand, so I'll always remember what they looked like. I'm hoping I don't lose my tattoo. In fact, I'm going to tell the surgeon that please try to conserve my tattoo, because it's 3 little butterflies. And I've had that since I was about 18. The doctor was kind of wigged out when I said, you know, I've had that hardness in my breast since I was 19. And it was 2 years ago that I had the hysterectomy and kept the ovaries. That basically is probably when this cancer started. So ladies, if you're going to do a hysterectomy, take all your guts out. No ovaries, nothing. Don't keep anything, because it just adds to your chances of cancer later in life. And I'm a firm believer in that now. Also noticed on the internet, not a lot of people, or not a lot of women, are giving updates to how their chemo turned out and their survival. And I've always kept internet under, you know, Amazon Jude on here. So I'm going to post this on my regular YouTube channel as I go along. And I hope you don't get offended, because a few of them have my boobs in them, and then a few of them's not going to have my boobs in them. But I want to get this out to women everywhere that, you know, we don't just die after we have a mastectomy. That some of us survive, and hopefully I'll be one of those. And I can be of some help to the next gal who finds out at 54 she has breast cancer. And so I'm going to keep you guys posted on that. And again, I want to thank some really close friends of mine, Donnie Ray, and my daughter-in-law, and my son, and, you know, Daniel and Tess. They've all been really supportive of me. My husband especially, Dana, you know, he's just been, I've kept him out of it as much as I could, because I didn't think it was that big a deal. But now we're getting into the real nitty-gritty of what this chemo is going to do, and what mastectomy is going to do to both our sex life and our relationship. And he said, you know, we've been together 20 years. I don't think you losing your boobs is going to change our relationship all that much. You might have to kiss my neck instead, you know, to get me turned on. But other than that, I think we'll do just fine. The expenses involved in anything like this, I wouldn't wish this on anyone without insurance, because it's basically a death sentence. Obama made sure that if you didn't have insurance, you were sure to die if you got a catastrophic illness such as mine. But hopefully some of this will get straightened out in the next few years with Trump. And on that note, I just want to say I still support our president 100%. And I think it's great that all of these alphabet soup agencies are cleaning house on all the corrupt higher anarchy in these agencies that have been rogue for a long time. Some of them didn't even think they had to account to Congress anymore. But anyway, that's another video, and that's another time. But so tomorrow's my surgery. Today's Monday, February 12th. So I'm going to go in on the 13th. 13 is kind of a lucky number for me, although everyone seems to think it's an unlucky number. But 13's always been pretty good for me. I won $11,000 one time on the 13th, and a lot of other money on the 13th. So I'm not going to let that bother me. But I sewed together me a little bag to hang around my neck to hold the drainage bobbles in, because I guess I have to wear those 4 or 5 days until all the breast juices from surgery have leaked out. And I hear it's supposed to be bloody red at first, and then it gets clearer and clearer and clearer, and less and less and less. So I've got a pre-op next Monday, and I suppose that's probably when they'll be talking about taking them out, if everything went good in surgery. And if not, I died. And my husband will be looking for a wife. Don't be looking for a gold digger. We don't need no gold diggers, because there's no gold to be had. Anyway, I try to remain a little optimistic. But anyway, like I said, I'm going to continue this even after my mastectomy for at least a year, so that more women can have more information coming from somebody who went through it firsthand, and not think everybody died because they stopped videoing their journey. So with that, Amazon out from Wyoming, and God bless.